Camera rolling and action.
Action!
Last year turnover was around 12,000 crores.
If you go today to IMs and you tell that you join real estate, they'll be like, नहीं Saturday Sunday हम काम नहीं करते.
मेरा इंटरव्यू तो 4 बजे.
Sales and marketing क्यों अपने पास रखते हो? वो भी outsource कर दो.
ये बेचोगे?
If you book today, you go and visit,
Cancel.
and if you don't,
If you don't like it, cancel. We'll pay you the money. There's no cancellation charge.
real estate was still a very unorganized sector. Overall, MMR last year would be around 1 lakh crore.
Real estate project is a trade-off between three things: value, volume, and velocity. Last year, we must have interacted with 15 lakhs lead.
We are also brokers inside. That's what developers promise. You know, when this will come, this will be the ground, this will be this is going to be that. Just put in the money, put in this.
Quarter on quarter, there's an increase of 7 to 10% in the luxury sales. But आप घर खरीदोगे तो पूजा कर सकते हैं.
At the end, we have to go home only.
Real estate में लोग चोर हैं.
Don't worry about taking the right decision. Just take the decision and make it right. Thank you for joining us. We are very excited for what's going to happen in the show. This is the first time we have 2 guests and such visionary people. I'm so excited to understand both your opinions. So let's just dive into it. So let's start with you, Jayesh sir. I want to know your journey. Before Guardians, what were you doing? How did you get the idea of meeting these people, your partners, and how did you start? Did it happen by chance? Was it all planned? Everything, your journey throughout.
It's such an amazing, my favorite questions you ask to begin with. So yeah, joining real estate in 2002, post completing civil engineering and marketing in MBA. 13 years with brand like Kalpatru, which I worked with in product marketing and strategy part of it. And then 2 years with Vijay Vadva Group, another legendary development legacy firm in Bombay. After 15 years, we thought, let's do something of our own. If this much here to do, nothing, I think high risk, high returns, which I always followed.
Yeah.
So me, Khetsubhai, Ram and Kaushalbhai, because we know each other since many years. And I think that synergetic approach and individual strength of each in a most, comprehensive manner, if it's provided to the real estate, I'm sure the confidence was always there that we'll never look back. And then we understood the demand for sales and marketing as an advisory firm in the most holistic manner, not just sale.
Yeah.
Because sale is the most important part, but so many ingredients goes inside the sales, which is we knew because we come from a developer's background. So with that thought, when we started a company called Guardians with a team of 6 people on 16th April 2016 to be precise, with 2 projects, and today we are 1,200 people with last year turnover was around 12,000 crores.
Wow.
And that's the journey.
Let's switch pretty quick.
Also, yeah. And yes, over a period of this 8 years, a lot of ups were there, a lot of challenges came. But with the team 4, when we joined hands together, there's never looking back. And we always knew that there is a good demand for a professional approach and team like us to give the holistic sales and marketing solution to Cat B developer, which are in presence in really good numbers. The only difference between them and the branded developer was they already delivered. They are very conservative. They don't launch without approvals, projects completion on time. The only thing is required is an aggression of sales and marketing, which we brought it on a table. And when we understood there is a gap between such demand and the supply side of it, other part of India already had this mandate sale, especially NCR, but Bombay never had that.
Okay.
And we started with this thought that let's introduce this flavor to the real estate. And like how architect, contractors, license, so many other departments are outsourced over a period in this real estate industry of Bombay, even sales and marketing, if you give a good solutions to them, and our model is a performance driven. You perform and you take your commissions. So no developer will ever say no for it, especially when team like us, who's coming from the developer size background, is venturing into mandate sales.
Yeah.
It is not a retail sales. So the lead confidentiality, and it's a performance driven. It's a launch base, 3 months of launch we do, we perform, we take a commission. So we are not a cost to the developer.
Yeah.
Unlike, suppose any launch is happening, then 30-40 member team is required to do the new launches. And once the launch is done, as a developer size may feel, if I'm also a developer, that it's a cost to me because now there is no inventory left. What to do? But such model has created the demand over a period, right from Cat B developer to even category A developer, which are working with us now in our portfolio. So yeah, that's a short journey.
It's an amazing. It's not short. It's a very fulfilling journey where you decide, like you said, sales in the end is the end product. It's the end result. Before that, a lot of things go in. A lot of roles are
And
played.
that's our expertise.
Yes, that is great. What about you? What's your journey like? When did you join the Guardians and how it's been?
So I started my career with banking.
Okay.
So I was always a banker, and I switched to real estate after 5 years being in banking.
Okay.
So now it's been, I think, more than 15 years that I am in real estate.
More
So
than
you know, so adding what he was also saying, that how did that journey start, and we work together in Vadhwa.
Okay.
So that's how I
So
know
you
them.
come from a long way together.
Yeah. And when they started, I joined some other company. Then after 2 years, they said that you don't do anything else, you come here.
Come.
So when I joined this organization, it was a 30-member organization. So I've seen that journey from 30 to,
Yeah.
they have seen from 6 to 1200. I've seen from 30 to
1200.
1200. So I'm just maybe 24 short. So yeah, so coming from banking industry, so again coming to the point that why is mandate sales in Bombay, a thing now? Coming from banking, I realized that real estate was still a very unorganized sector.
Yeah.
It was very unorganized. There was no, there were no dashboards like you had. There were no processes like you have in banking. So now when a developer outsources the sales and marketing to us, we get a professional setup to them.
Yeah.
So he also knows, sitting in one chair, he knows what has happened in sales and marketing from today, last month, last quarter, last year, whatever number he wants to see, he can track it real time. So I think that professionalism, the kind of people, because now real estate has also become very dynamic.
Yeah.
Every project is different. There are too many options for a customer. The customer have become very smart.
Yes.
So you need to have that professional people. If you go today to IMs and you tell that you join real estate, they'll be like, "Nahi, Saturday, Sunday, hum kaam nahi karte." So getting the talent in real estate and grooming them is also important, which we do, which many people fail to get, many developers. So that's where we come in. We manage everything professionally. That is I think the need of the hour.
Yeah, you all have basically just given a systematic approach to how things should play out.
Yes.
Okay.
And I think like my journey with Guardians has been 6 years now, and a long way to go.
Of course, yes.
Yes, of course. Okay, so like Guardian is such a big name in the market and everything. I just wanted to go a bit behind and know, how did all of the partners meet, and did you all know each other from before, or you all met and you decided there's this idea? Did you all always wanted to get into real estate? What was it like?
So me and Ram started our journey together,
Okay.
I think in the gap of 6 months at Kalpataru, which was 2002 onwards. So we worked together in Kalpataru for 13 years. We quit together.
Okay.
We joined Vadhwa together, which was for 2 years. We were 18 months to be precise. So me and Ram knows each other. We know strength of each other over a period. Kitsibai I knew from my Kalpataru days, because he used to come to meet my ex-boss for all those retail sales and shops and commercials which he used to handle. And I got introduced to Kitsibai's dynamism then, because he's different. He is the true, the business side of real estate, which he has always, right from his entrepreneurial journey, which is more than 25 years. And so he's, that hunger for the business and that nuances of the business, knowing every developer and vice versa, was the very catchy in him. And so in one of the day in Vadhwa, I was like, okay, Kisbai, I'm looking for some change, and maybe a few deals which you are going through, if you want to close, maybe I'm there for 2 months. Why don't you do that? And he says, what happened? I said, come down. And he called me down, I remember, and he took me to one project at CST Road. We walked it because there was a traffic jam in the evening in BKC. And he says, ye bechoge? I was like, yeah, main to bechna hi aata hai. But we can sell this. So he said, if you bechoge, to you will get commission.
Okay.
And that's how it started. And then Ram was on a holiday, and I said, let Ram comes, I'll speak with him. So immediately when I floated the idea to Ram, and we both agreed that, no, let's do this. And so we three knew each other. And in Vadhwa period, I know Kaushal Bhai. Kaushal Bhai used to come to meet owners of Vadhwa Group for so many other land transactions and commercials. But yes, another, the legendary player of real estate and senior, chartered accountant, knows the numbers, business part of it. And I always say that, in all my forum, I said that Kaushal Bhai is our signal. It doesn't let us go because aggression of us sometime, and we don't want to leave any project sometime. But yes, his that, that signal approach, that be conscious, take decisions, but in keeping all the parameters and say that, okay, there are risks involved, how to mitigate that. Not that you have to say no to the projects always. So I know Kaushal Bhai, and we all met during that period. So yes, knowing each other, it's not like a short period. It's like over a period. And Kaushal Bhai already knew each other for more than 20 years. So I think a like-minded people with some spiritual inclination is very common thread. People friendly, and always keep the people-centric approach to begin with respect to every stakeholders, whether it is a staff, whether it is a vendor, whether it's a developer. We always believe that if we cannot make someone, let's not just take the project for the sake of it. It's good to give a reason on the table. If we get some solution, it's great. If it doesn't get, we can always be good friend. Business may happen or not happen. But I think that the meeting, four of us, was, I will not say organic. It happened.
Thanks to Vadhva Group.
Yeah, it was. Thanks to Vadhva Group. I must thanks. I still remember when I last day, and Mr. Vijay Vadhva actually wished me, and he says, "Yeah, I'm so glad that you are starting your entrepreneurial journey by ending your service at my organization." It was a big blessing by him, and so we four started this way. Again, I repeat, the different approach and different expertise is the strength of Guardians. Kaushal Bhai is a chartered accountant, governance, taxations, payment on times to the government, so many things which he looked into. Land is his subject.
Yeah.
These are the two things which he comes from, and his definitely a rich experience. He's a senior member, and so we always says that we four are there. There could be a difference of opinion, but whatever he decides at the end, we will abide by it and follow that way. Kaushal Bhai comes from a retail and commercial background and trading background of it. Land transaction, yes, both them together, but business development as a division, we never require because Kaushal Bhai is our strength.
Yeah.
If we ever tell that Mira Road 2 project has performed well and we want more project, he will sure that my team gets 2 or 3 interviews done in the next 2 days because he knows every developer and vice versa. And so yes, that strength of him. Ram's aggression in sales and distribution is everybody knows that, so nothing, from strategy part of it, handling gamut of 800, with Saurabh, because Saurabh takes care of sales, so he mostly works closely with Ram.
Yeah.
So that's a big strength. And the portfolio which I handle at Guardians is product, because I strongly believe there is no undo for the wrong product in real estate. Most of my study over a period shows that wrong product, there is no undo. When the project is done, approved, plinth is out, if it doesn't sell, you can't break the plinth because so much of money and time is invested. So I handle the product, I handle marketing part of it, and process and the little bit system which we implement at Guardian. Four of us, there's different expertise together is the main reason of our success. And that's how we met.
Oh, that's a great story. You all should make a biopic. Okay, so my question, you all spoke about the mandate business. Let's say for a layman perspective, for our audience, for me as well, can you put more light on what exactly a mandate business is and how necessary it is right now in the real estate market to have a mandate?
Sure.
Can we just put some light on the mandate part?
Sure. So in a mandate business, whatever is required to sell a particular project, a developer keeps his sales team to sell. He will keep a marketing team and he will keep a CRM team to collect money or to do registrations or the paperwork.
Yeah.
So this complete piece, they outsources to a professional agency, which is the mandate sales. So we, right from designing the brochure to designing the marketing campaign, selling a project which has inventory worth 500 crores, example, needs a lot of attention from all perspectives. Like he said, the ingredients are too much, which are maybe not seen. It is the strategy on how to take the pricing. It is the strategy on inventory. It is the strategy on design. It is the strategy on how to give experience to a customer. When a customer enters, what should we give him coffee or should we offer him cookies?
It matters.
So everything, these are very small
impressions, everything.
Those small elements we take care of and we run it professionally. Also, a developer, when he wants to launch a project, now real estate is so competitive. We take it like an FMCG. You know how you distribute soap or toothpaste. We believe in that strategy. So you need manpower. You need 30-40 member team to go on field and to meet again channel partners, brokers who are a big part of the real estate industry. So there are around 5,000, 6,000 channel partners who are associated with us. So we know distribution. So that is where the mandate sales come in. So they outsource that complete piece to us for a limited period of time. Like we take a project for 6 months or for 8 months or for 3 months, depending on the project and the location and the development. And so right from marketing to sales to inventory management to booking the customer and taking their initial token so that the customer is booked. And then we hand it over to a developer saying that, okay, now we have done the sales, now you take over.
Yeah. So in simple words, मैंने building बनाई है, मैं आपको दे रही हूँ, आप बेचो. सेल्स करो, मार्केटिंग करो, however you're selling it, sell it.
So हम लोग यही डिस्कस भी कर रहे थे कि एक डेवलपर जब लैंड लेता है, so वो क्या बोलता है कि इसको मैं आर्किटेक्ट किसी को दूंगा, X उसको दूंगा. बिल्डिंग वो खुद तो नहीं बनाता, he gives it to a contractor.
Yes.
उसके बाद जो उसका लाइजनिंग होता है, उसके लिए he has some outsourced agency. उसका लॉयर होता है, वो आउटसोर्स एजेंसी होता है. सेल्स एंड मार्केटिंग क्यों अपने पास रखते हो, वो भी आउटसोर्स कर दो.
नहीं, that is fact.
And you know, over a period of 8 years, when this whole business has been proven, right from transition of category B developer, now you name and we have those branded developers working with us, and there are relations are so strong now that we don't require any business development as a division only to strategize and scrutinize the project. But having said that, a referral and a repeat business is so high in our case that when any existing developer is buying land also, he usually call that यहाँ माल बिकेगा या नहीं बिकेगा, अगर बिकेगा तो कितने में बिकेगा. So our journey starts from that period. So it is all what Saurabh says, you know, and plus their land acquisition, giving strategic input at that time, market research, strategy, product development,
everything
division,
from end to end.
So it is, I think it's not just selling. Selling is very important. But all what Saurabh has said is the important ingredients which combine and become a strength to get the numbers which we added over a period.
Yeah. So currently, what would you say the market size of the mandate business is like? If you can approximately give an idea.
So we are in only in the MMR region, which is Mumbai and like KDMC, Thane, Navi Mumbai. As far as MMR region is concerned, we are just outside in Pune, apart from Bombay. So in Bombay, we do sales around 12,000 crores. The overall MMR last year would be around 1 lakh crore.
That's huge.
Markets.
Yeah.
We were at like a 12 to 15% share. I think the overall mandate sales would be at around 25% share, I would say, in Bombay.
25%. That's still a good enough number, I think.
But this number is constantly increasing because there are many mandate players who have come who are not known, which are very small. They only take 1 or 2 projects. So that market has really, it is there, but obviously because since it is not organized and there's no definite number to it that we can put. Because like if you go to to Navi Mumbai or to KDMC, Kalyan Dombivli, there are many brokers who have also started this, but you can't put a number or name to them, right?
Maybe local. They're not a known entity.
Right.
So let's say when you started this, were there other players on the market? And how about you differentiate yourself from, let's say, Anurag or Blocks? What is the difference that is different between you guys and them? There might be some other players in the market when you all started. So what is that 1 or 2 differentiator that you all provide or they don't? Or?
I think our developers' side's experience over a period of 15 years, not just we as a promoter, but the whole team. Say, for example, including Saurabh, a rich experience of more than 15 years and then joined Guardians is from a developer side. Our top management, like, the whole top team in strategy, marketing, everybody comes from the developer side. So that actually differentiates us from rest of our competitor. I'm not saying everybody have that strength in, the opportunities for improvement. So do we have, they have. Instead of taking any names, I should say, let's focus on where we are strong. So yes, a developer-centric approach. The team which comes from a developer side. The third, I should say, the overall, like when we take accountability of a project, we scrutinize the project in totality. That not just for the sake of taking any project for that particular developer because we want that feather in our crown. That's never the approach of, Guardian. So yes, I must say a developer-centric approach, keeping our skin in the business that, can we sell this, then only take that. And the whole team, which only thinks as a developer. Like, that if because we all come from that side. I mean, never the project where a nice fancy looking brochure if somebody gives and says, sell my product. But if you are not confident, my whole team will say no. Because that experience which they carry, allow them to bring the experience, knowledge, data on the table and, discuss with the developer that, okay, for this reason, we will not be able to, do the justice to the project. At the same time, if developer is willing to make any changes, right, from product to marketing to sales strategy to pricing, because at the end, real estate mandate sales, or for any, real estate project, is a trade-off between three things: value, volume, and velocity.
Yeah.
And this trade-off varies from project to project, developer to developer, and location to location for the same developer. And so we strongly believe that we discussed this on a very day first of the table. Value is important, then let's strategize accordingly. Velocity is important, let's strategize accordingly. Volume is important, certainly let's strategize accordingly. This is the competitive advantage which we enjoy. Our more than 70-80% projects comes from a drawing board stage, where we take, suppose last year, we must have interacted with 15 lakhs lead. It's a huge number.
15 lakhs?
Around all the projects
It's
together. If 12.5 lakh square feet, if we sold last year, the number of leads interacted, the number of lead visited, the number of revisited come. That rich experience and the knowledge and the data analytics tells us that if we want to sell 28 lakh square feet in Borivali, highway touched, what we're supposed to make and why it will sell. Now that allow us to, bring those strategic input on the table and enter from the day one of the, But as I said, every, competition is good. Because if there is no competition, monopolistic situation is very dangerous for any service or product related company. And so for us. So also we also learn from our competitions and we try to imbibe those good things which are happening that way. But when we started, I think fairly we all started together. The names which you are taking in a rock. And,
Okay.
And we're good friends, brother.
Yeah. I think in real estate, everybody's friends with everybody. It's like, if not working out, do you have this? Do you have this? Like, we are also brokers inside. Like, if you have this in area, or I have.
Yeah, because Julie, the real estate market is so big that it's a huge pie.
Especially, like, Bombay itself.
It's huge
the
pie.
opportunities in real estate in Bombay, like, we think, okay, let's say India per se, we don't even have to go to India. Because in Bombay only, there is so much to cover.
We are the third largest costly city in the world. Forget in the India. So, and we are fortunately in this city.
Yeah. So we'll make use out of it.
Definitely.
Okay, so like the differentiate between the other partners I get. So let's say mandates and a regular brokerage company. There are some similarities between a brokerage company and mandates. So what do you think differentiates between them, like a regular brokerage company and the mandates?
So a regular broker, when he gets a lead, he can show 10 projects. But we focus only on one project. So we do not share leads of one project to other projects. We get into a developer's shoes. And there are separate teams to handle all the mandated projects. And for one project, we generate lead, we close it there only. If the lead is not closed, that lead is dead for us. We do not share it or we do not have that database, because that database is eventually the developer's database. We give it back to the developer. So that's the basic, I would say format differentiation which is there. Otherwise, we sell the entire project. A developer, a broker might take 10 different projects and in the same micro market he can show one customer. So that's the basic difference.
It's like as Vishal rightly said, one customer, many project is what channel partners approach. In our case, one project and many customer is our approach. And we, as I said, we come from developer side. We understood this side of the business very well, which is our strength. And whichever is our strength, we are just capitalizing on it and leveraging on it. We never intend to go in that business ever in the past, not now and not in the future. I mean, that's very clear. So,
I think you answered my next question. I was going to revolve around like, why did you choose the mandate model if not like, let's say, a channel partner firm or becoming a developer yourself?
So maybe one part we answered, the second part I should like to answer, because in the COVID time, I remember that time, and it's over, and we got an opportunity to interact with Kotak Realty Fund, and we have a small development arm where on a DM basis we take projects. So 4 projects which are going on right now under construction and doing fairly well. But it is it's a separate model It's a separate business vertical, separate board-driven, CEO-driven approach, and where we join hands with the Kotak Realty Fund. But that's a different business. It's totally looked by the different board itself, process-oriented, like how any good development firm should be. But yes, sales and marketing of those projects is done by guardians. That's
That had to be done.
had to be, yeah.
So, did you draw like any inspiration for this company from other outside companies? Let's say there is a mandate business that goes in China as well, right? And I also wanted to understand the difference between a mandate in China and how we see it in India right now. And also, did you take inspiration from these outside companies or countries for?
What my study of China market over a period that yes, largest population at that time, and now we are actually overcome them. I mean, we are more than them. Their largest population was in the urban pockets already. The supply which they given was again in the urban pockets at that time. So how much more people can consume?
Yeah.
Like, I can buy one home, I can buy second, third, but that has reached to the threshold, and the market started behaving a little bit not in the expected manner. We already read it, so many slowdowns in that market and revival. Government has introduced so many, those fund-related things also, restrictions, check post and checklist and all. The one thing which we learned that why not to concentrate on end user? Because investor-driven market, especially Bombay, being the costliest one, anybody will buy home, will be the first time buyer. It's every Mumbaiker's dream. Forget Mumbaikers, even outsiders' dream to have a home in Mumbai.
Yeah.
Somebody comes to Bombay, he'll be on a rent, then he will look for 1 BHK, dream to get settled, wife, girlfriend, and the family here, and look forward for a nice home over here. Biggest advantage which Bombay enjoy over China is the end user driven market. Even our own database says that our 85 to 90% or more than that perhaps is the end user. Those
That's
who are
a
looking
huge
for,
number.
because they don't speculate the market. They don't sell at a cheaper rate when the market behaves wrongly. And that's the biggest criteria. The another thing which China must be selling the whole world. Right? I mean, they must be selling
Yeah,
to the
they
so
interact
many
with
things.
global markets,
Global
right?
market.
They have global networks which they connect with.
But in India, I think NRI sales is happening or that's not happening. But as I said, thanks to our population, which is 140 crore plus already, the demand organic is so high in our market itself that we don't want to go out. Having said that, NRI sale does happen in India, mostly from GCC country, which also giving a good boost to the real estate. But yes, end user driven market is the biggest differentiating factor from China as far as Indian real estate is concerned. Not just Bombay, but other metro cities too.
Yeah, I think we specifically are biased towards Bombay, so that's why we're concentrating. Okay, so trust is a very crucial thing in real estate because like people are also very emotional when it comes to buying this, spending their life savings on buying a house, and needs to be correct, and they have a lot of emotions involved with it. What I'm coming at with the question is like when you choose a developer to whom you offer your services, is there a checklist that you follow that these things need to be in place, that's when we're going to enter with them, or is there a process that you all come down to that if these things are in place, that's when we'll take the developer? I mean, I'm just trying to understand your perspective when you choose to work with a developer. What are the things that you consider?
So I think we think from a bias perspective when it comes to taking a mandate. We check all the approvals. All approvals should be in place. Thankfully, RERA is there.
Yeah.
So so all the compliances that a RERA requires, we check all those compliances, which should be there because that is step one of even evaluating a project.
Yeah.
If we get involved at a design stage, then we make sure we launch the project or we take the project to a market only when all the requisite approvals required by the government officials is fulfilled. That is step one. Secondly, we have a customer-centric approach. That is the reason whenever the way we present it to a customer, we make sure that there is enough transparency. There is nothing read between the lines. And today, in fact, the customer is also very smart and
they're very aware.
Aware, and we don't want to book a customer and then he cancels it. It doesn't make any sense. So, it is better that we put the complete checklist in front of a developer also, that these are the things which are required. And in front of a customer also, that these are the things which we are offering, and a customer also takes a informed decision before buying an apartment.
In fact, the biggest point which I wanted to add to what Saurabh has already said is a financial closure.
Right.
Because any developer, when bring any projects to us, there are a lot of checks happens, like license checks, legal checks, title checks, the past records, how he has delivered, the past records, how he has dealt with the vendor, the past records, how he dealt with the broker network. Because that's really important. But the most important is the financial closure. Because we don't want to stuck, customers' money into the project where the financial closure is not there. When I say financial closure in layman language, either developer should have enough fund in his account to construct the project once we do the sale.
Should not stop.
And doesn't stop. Or alternatively, does he have any financial closure from any fund or a bank?
Yes.
Because if that is there, then there is, enough checks happen. If any bank has, funded or any fund has already given funding, or, that, okay, I'm sanctioning 200 crores towards the construction, it's the biggest comfort.
Yeah.
Because in past it has happened, despite of an excellent friendly relation with the developer, every readiness was there, but financial closure was taking time and we didn't launch. We postponed the launch for 1.5 years.
Okay.
And post that, when we launched, we didn't look back. We really achieved a good number. It is not in the interest of only developer, but even the consumer, everybody. So all the stakeholders, because if you start selling, there is a responsibility to finish also, right? Even the sale happened, but there has to be responsibility.
I think the financial point that you added, the fund thing, it's very relatable because we personally have seen so many people invest their money in some developments that are upcoming because that's what developers promise. When this will come, this will be the ground, this will be this is going to be that, just put in the money, put in this. People put their life savings blindly because they're so fantasized by the idea of having a house in Bombay that they do not realize it and they just go in a rush.
True.
They do it and then the building stops. It's not happening.
Correct.
And their money is stuck and there's nothing they can do about it. So I think for consumer perspective also, buyers also need to be more aware when it comes to this. That's what we say, real estate market is not that organized. I think some things should come into play, which also from a consumer perspective, they should be aware of these things, where to invest, what to invest, where to avoid. That'll make it easier for them to have some space in this. So we coming to developers, let's talk about luxury. So in India, the luxury market has tripled. So what are the trends that y'all are seeing when it comes to the luxury market? A lot of people are moving towards it. They want their houses to feel luxury, going home, feel it. So how does the trends look like in, let's say, Bombay or India, whatever?
So I think that trend started post-COVID.
Okay.
When people were in, 2 BHKs, they wanted a bigger space and, a space for work, for work from home.
Yeah.
With families all,
together.
And with working, both the, members of the couple, they were working. So they wanted their own space. I think the luxury demand started there.
Yeah.
And I think it has never looked back.
Yeah.
And I think with your numbers also, which are saying that it got tripled. I think in terms of supply also, the developers have realized and they are going with the trend of making more luxury. And in terms of the buyers also, they are moving toward that luxury segment. In fact, quarter on quarter, there's an increase of 7 to 10% in the luxury sales, is what we are seeing right now. I think luxury will still go on because people have realized bigger houses is anyways
better.
A blessing.
Yeah,
So,
not those matchboxes that
Right.
We had a guest previously on the podcast and he was talking about the same thing. They said how they also fell in the trap of developing buildings which were very small in size, because that's what the trend was going before COVID, pre-COVID. And they were following all this trend and they said we also fell prey to that and we started making houses that were like matchboxes and everything, but it's completely changing. After COVID, people want open spaces. They want, let's say they want farmhouses in Panvel and everywhere now so that they can go and breathe.
Absolutely.
So I think people are actually now open to luxury segment.
They're open to luxury segment in real estate especially.
Yeah.
I think that trend is
now they don't
upwards.
think about affordability. They're like, we'll take a home loan, but I want a bigger space. Home loans have also made it easier for people
Very easy.
Home loans have made it easier, yes.
The similar stagnant, kind of a constant interest rate. And I think with the RERA regime coming in the pictures, lot of regulatories which are there, which government don't allow you to take more than 70% from the data account, but utilize those money for construction, has given confidence to the buyer in all the segments and purely in the luxury segments.
It's also the overall positivity in the market. The stock market is doing good.
Yes.
In fact, yesterday only I met somebody, he wanted to dilute some stock market and buy a commercial real estate.
Okay.
So that he can have a steady income. So people are moving their money from stock market, which has been doing good. And so they're diluting some of the monies there and putting in real estate, because real estate is also looking
it's
very
like
bullish.
It's an asset. You can keep it.
You can touch, feel it.
Yeah.
हम लोग उस दिन हम लोग थोड़ा सा I was with the customer, I was telling, he was also saying कि मैं stock market से डालूंगा. मैंने बोला आप अपने stock की पूजा नहीं कर सकते, but आप घर खरीदोगे तो पूजा कर सकते हो.
The name real estate itself is real.
Yeah.
I mean, that itself says that there is an asset which you can liquidate anytime.
Anytime. You can be dependent. Like if, God forbid, there are times you have that thing.
You have that asset in front of you.
Yes. And Indian market is still believe in buying than renting.
Yeah.
So
that's the question that's been going on every podcast we see: buying or renting, buying or renting. That's it.
And with the India future looking positive, people are taking risk of buying maybe a bigger house with a little going more than their budget also, because they feel that okay, घर तो में अच्छा ही चाहिए. We can stretch it.
Yeah. At the end, we have to go home only, so might as well get a good one.
ठीक है, COVID में थोड़ा slow down था. It was a spring effect. Every industry, product and service sector was like compressed. But the moment the lockdown was open, it just the spring got really jumped. You pick up any industry is doing well. Aviation doing well. Hospitality doing well.
Correct.
I think people got a big realization of life and everything.
The
like, let's not wait. I will buy this house after 10 years. Let's just take it.
Everywhere. Like say car, luxury. During COVID, it was such a discounted BMW were getting. Today, the same car is available at double the cost of it.
Yeah, and people are still buying it.
Still buying it.
Yeah.
The production has not
You see
gone
traveling. People are now traveling. They are not saving.
Like you never know when a pandemic comes.
Correct.
Let's just live life.
Right.
That is true. So in India, we see a lot of developers signifying luxury. Let's say Lodha, let's say Hiranandani. They signify luxury. They never compromise when it comes to luxury. So now in this trend, there's the trend of branded residences. Let's say for places such as Dubai and Miami have these branded residences, like Bulgari Lighthouse in Dubai and etc. So I wanted to know, like in India, do you think there'll be a, let's say, will it be scalable? Will people actually be interested in going forward with these branded luxuries? I mean, comparing it with fashion is a smaller thing, but just in that, because in the fashion segment, when it comes to higher luxury brands, personally, people are moving towards silent luxury. They don't want flash all over them. They don't want Gucci all written over them.
Right.
So when that segment is moving over there, and these branded residences are mostly higher in fashion, right? The names, Bulgari, Gucci, Louis Vuitton. Them coming into these branded residences, how is it going to turn out in the Indian market?
See, I think it's a very positive trend.
Okay.
That will, see, anything which goes in the West comes to India after some time.
Yeah.
If you see that, people have that mentality of that, let's live our life, that has come to India right now. I think branded residences also, if I compare it within India, I think places like Delhi, NCR, they are more acceptable to it even now. If you see, Trump Towers have already come in 2-3 places in India. They're already there. There are few branded residential in Bombay also, but in Delhi, it's far more acceptable. I think that trend is yet to come here, but I think it has a very, I would say, bright future, because when the competition is more, you need to stand out.
Yeah.
And if you see even today, people are buying luxury. If you see, like you were saying that, that Gucci or whatever, but you see people wearing those things. Right?
Especially Delhi.
Especially Delhi. In Bombay also.
Yeah.
In Bangalore also. So, so we will see that trend also coming into real estate. The thing is that we are not yet very open to it, but I think that is the, I would say, future. And if that comes in, that will definitely give an edge to real estate, because real estate anyways is luxury, especially in Bombay. Now, however you can add more value to it. It depends on how it is adding value to the project. And
I think also the openness will come with more awareness. The more people get to know about it, the more it is out there. Now half of the people are not aware about it. That something like a concept like this is also there.
Right.
I think once they start understanding that, they'll be more open to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Marketing will help in that. Luxury and amenities somewhat go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Especially after COVID, people want amenities. They want a park in the
yes,
building.
yes,
They
yes.
want a swimming pool. They want a gym, health center. Health has become very priority to many.
Right.
So, do you see like both where luxury meets amenity? Because when we talk about, let's say specifically in Bandra, a lot of people cannot offer those amenities because of space crunch. There is not a lot of spaces for those big developers to come in and make their buildings and take that much acres of land and make those amenities. So, apart from what areas do you think specifically will now come up with such developments where there's a merger of luxury and those basic amenities needed?
So I think amenities are now not a luxury, it's a basic thing which any buyer looks for.
Yeah.
It depends on the age group also. Like for example, the younger generation is more moving towards the bigger
Yes.
layouts where you have at least swimming pools and gardens and a kids play area. Because in Bombay you don't find parks, you don't find place to where you can go and play.
Can't go on the roads and do a jog also.
Absolutely. So people are preferring those locations which have like layouts. Not any particular location, because every location has few projects which have those layouts, bigger layouts. And a developer now also, what we feel is that he also sees the land and he sees how can I create value in terms of amenities for a customer, you know, for all age groups. It is all a matter of how big land parcel you get. So, you know, if you today go to Navi Mumbai, every project have huge amenities.
That day we went to Vashi and there was everything.
Correct.
You name the
Name it and you have
sport.
it.
There is.
If you want to stay in Bandra, then you have to look for different reasons to stay.
We have plenty of reasons.
Absolutely.
We like the old Bombay aesthetic.
Absolutely.
And we love the.
So it depends on the customer that, you know, what is he actually looking at.
Yeah. But I think slowly people are moving towards the amenity side, especially in Bombay, I'll say, saves a lot of time. If I want to go to the gym, if it's in my building, I'll go, I'll get it done. I have to go for a run, it's in the building, I'll go get it. It saves a lot of time.
Saves a lot of time.
So earlier people had this, I think, status thing that I live in Bandra, I live in South Bombay. Some people still have it. We still see it. Why South is more expensive and why this is not. But a lot of people are now moving towards, let's say, Goregaon. There's, you know, Windsor and these buildings coming up. We want that for our family. A garden for the older generation, a play area for our kids.
So you don't have to go out and everything is available within your premises.
You know, what you're saying right now was got validated by our research team, post-COVID especially. Why somebody buy 200 flats in 15 days crossing Mira, you know, Toll Naka at Mira Road. When we did that research, the findings were amazing.
Yeah.
They were actually saying that, okay, I go to office at BKC or Andheri, but at least my family is taken care if something, you know, if some kind of COVID happens or etc. At least we have a space to breathe out.
Yeah.
People started buying balcony homes post-COVID.
Yeah.
That at least, you know, I can open the window,
They
be in balcony
included
for
the
some
decks
time.
and balconies in the FSI now.
So there is a change in the behavior buying pattern of a consumer, post-COVID especially, where the amenities was given equal importance where the primary product is a flat. Layout, area, budget, trade, developers, track record, obviously there. But amenities has become an integral part of customer evaluating a project and giving a good weightage to the same. I mean, so amenities does
I think the developers are also now getting more and more unique amenities to their buildings.
There's salons, there's a spa, there is everything you get. I went to a development that day. He's showing me around. He's like, that's the salon, that's the spa. There's a cafe in the development. And I'm like, the ideas people are coming up with, it's like a hotel.
So there's a new development is coming. He's coming with a very unique amenity. It's called the oxygen room.
Okay.
So wherein, you know, there is fresh oxygen pumped into it. So you can go and relax after work and, you know, you can have that fresh oxygen.
Yeah. To have that in your own building. Why would anybody not take it? They'll be like, we'll travel, but we'll take it.
Right.
It's great. And especially in Bombay because there's a lot of space crunch.
And there are no gardens or parks which are easily accessible. If I today want to play badminton, I don't know where to go.
Exactly. We don't have that much space in Bandra as well. I don't know where to go. These buildings have tennis courts, they have this, they have that. Everything is there. It's like a hotel.
Right.
So that's also, I think...
But that has become a basic, I would say, hygiene now.
Yeah.
Any standalone building today also has a gym.
Yeah, gym there is. If there's no area, they'll build it on the floor or whatever they will have. the concept of a gym, and even pools. They're trying
Even
to build
pool, they're trying to
infinity
build the
pools.
pools, infinity pools. Yes, absolutely.
They are changing. They're noticing that people want
Because
this.
that is because of the buyer is looking for that thing now. Like you said, the buyer pattern is moving towards
Yeah.
amenities and that basic openness to the building that they want.
Yeah. This is it can be a very, I don't know what question, but we live like, so brokers, local partners, our area partners, they do everything. Like, they'll find places, they'll do help with transition, everything. But there is a segment who looks down upon them. Like, there was a blogger recently who tweeted that people think of brokers like like people who escort them to another place. So their main job is to let's escort us to the property, and they talk to them, they escort us, and that's done. They don't get that respect, or which they deserve, because they do lot more than that. They find time, they do work on Saturdays, Sundays, when because everybody's free, and that's when they can look at the house. So what is your opinion on how people see the local partners and channel partners, and how do you think, what changes can the channel partners do to organize their sector a bit? Because it's very unorganized. So what changes you all suggest, or you all think can be added for them to have a organized and that respect status that they deserve?
So we as an organization, we feel that we also internally have that ethos. I would say that there are only two assets to our organization. One is our employee, and second is channel partners. So we give utmost respect to those channel partners, because they contribute to 80-85% of our business.
Yes.
So and in overall Bombay, if you talk about Mumbai as a market also, I think the broker's contribution cannot be ignored.
Yeah.
Now coming to that people don't give respect and everything, I think the mindset is changing to these I would say we call them channel partners, to those channel partners also, because they are your partners.
Yeah.
If you reach out to 100 channel partners, they become your sales team.
Yes.
They get those clients. So I don't think so that whoever I meet or the developers I meet, that most of them, they look at channel partners with respect.
Yes.
Now there was I would say there are some brokers who, because of some unethical practices or whatever, but that happens in every industry. So you can't really generalize that all brokers are like that. In fact, now I see that many young people have come into broking.
Yeah.
Those were the days, erstwhile days, where I was a broker, मेरे पास 10 reference थे, मैं उनको ही हर project में लेके जाता था, invest कराता था. Now the way of broking has also changed. The brokers, they take a very tech-based approach also today.
Yeah.
So they make their apps, they make their websites, they do a lot of things on digital. They are sitting in one office and driving sales. So so the trend of broking also has, I would say, changed completely.
That's what we do at Jugyah.
Friends which were bankers before, and now
Yeah.
they become a full-time channel partner.
Yeah.
When they started performing well in one or two projects of us, I remember when we started the South Bombay chapter after COVID, because that was the first project we launched, and even Borivali and other market, which was never done business in South Bombay, has actually worked with guardians. That okay, if you guys are there, let me come and earn those high commissions, because it's a luxury sales happening in Parel when they came. So I think we have to respect them, because erstwhile, like 40 years back, who was selling real estate? Brokers, right? I mean, that was it is a journey from being, in those years they used to call as a dalal, then it has become a broker,
Yes.
now it is a channel partner. They are the important ingredients and the stakeholders of the whole real estate gamut, cannot be ignored. And answering it to your, one thing that small things can they do differently to do the same business in a much different manner. That Saurabh rightly said, digitizations, website, etc. But there is a good which I must say that little bit of business process, checklist and standardizations of what they do will definitely bring that professional approach. If they are doing it, great. If they are doing it, have the consistency in doing so, have the innovations always in this, whatever you do, and have this standardization, and then it really will help them.
Yeah.
And I think now with RERA coming in, and the channel partners also has to take a RERA certification, things are anyways getting streamlined.
Yeah.
And now there are, I've seen they're using AI in their, like, your company also, they're using AI and everything, you're just speaking. So I think it's a
Yeah.
very,
So
very forward approach that many brokers are also taking now.
Yeah. So when it comes to the real estate transitions, like at Jugyah, we believe an end-to-end transaction, like a pleasant buying experience.
Correct.
Not just showing you the property, but helping you with the market, giving you legal advice, providing everything you want. We don't sell subscriptions or packages. We're like end-to-end. We'll come, we'll look at your property, we'll shoot, we'll do marketing for your property. You can list your property through us. So end-to-end. So do you think like with normal channel brokers and everything, your mandate business kind of is helping in achieving this, pleasant transaction that a person is looking at, a buyer perspective? And do you think later on channel partner should also kind of move in that direction and not just be a property?
Absolutely. I think real estate is still a touch and feel.
Yeah.
The more you show, the more people get intrigued by it.
Yes.
So, like for example, one of the projects, before launching it for the world, we called all the influencers and channel partners who make those videos. So they came, they shot, they took a walkthrough, and then they posted on their channel on the day we were launching it. So I think it's a very integral part. We also have to change with the wave. So I think that's the new way forward. Now for traveling also today, पहले लोग किसी टूर ऑपरेटर के पास जाते थे, आजकल लोग किसी ब्लॉगर को देखते हैं. So, I think
कहीं खाना भी खाते हैं, other cities में, so we would like to see that what others are saying about it.
Correct.
So that was my next question.
And I think whenever I've also seen that in household, whenever people are discussing properties, वो पहले YouTube पे जाके उसका एक वीडियो देखेंगे.
That is now. People are open. That's what my next question was, like brokers. So we've seen. But now if you see real estate influencers, there are a lot of real estate influencers showing walkthrough videos, big properties, small properties, all of that. So social media is playing a very important part.
Absolutely.
When it comes to all of this. So do you think like these touch and feel and all of these things, like let's say social media influencers and your mandate business can merge? Like do you all do it? Like do you all do marketing that way where you call these influencers to give your property a visibility because it gives visibility? And how is it working? Like
so whenever any project get launched, certainly the marketing arms get activated. So there's a lot of media planning, media budgeting, all that things. And of course, influencer marketing is part of the whole checklist which you have to go through and act also. So yes, we do get engaged in most of the projects, especially the large scale project. And especially the projects which are mass scale, like you have to reach to the mass. That always help. Luxury sales have its own influencer, affordable homes have its own, mid-luxury have its own. But yes, we do consider them as this channel cannot be ignored. You have to, bring them on a table.
They have a mass audience.
The mass audience.
Visibility
so we do that.
will be.
And if I have to buy a property, I'll go on Google and search it for sure.
Yes.
And see what is the information available on the internet.
Yeah.
So social media plays a very important role in our segment also.
Especially these coming years. Like it's like scaled up like anything.
Absolutely.
Earlier there was just local broker call. Now people are exchanging WhatsApps, sending photos, sending videos. We also personally do. We go to the property, we shoot a walkthrough. I think coming to the end, it's actually making the customer feel comfortable.
Absolutely.
Like before they want to come visit, it's for their convenience. I can choose if I want to go and visit here or not. It's not going to be like I went there, I did not like the property.
Because in Bombay, traffic, no time of luxury, time luxury.
Yeah.
At least 20 देख लो, उसमें से 10 shortlist करो.
Yes.
6 interested है तो उसमें जाके एक बार देखते
It's like making it convenient for the customer.
As a customer also, I would, if I can delete some options from my checklist looking at the videos, why not?
Of course. So I think social media is
Important.
deriving sales.
Right.
When we
Indeed.
talk about real
Indeed.
estate as well.
Indeed.
Absolutely.
We also get a lot of sales through social media. So let's say 15 years down the lane, do you think the entire buying and selling process of real estate is going to be at, like online? Let's say Amazon, Flipkart, people take it and they buy it. Because somewhere in the West where they have virtual 3D tours and everything, or in India also some NRIs or not, they see the place, they can't be here. They see it, they like it, they take it. Do you think not now, I'm not talking about now, maybe when with this virtual 3D reality, more AI coming in, all the tech getting into place, will it be like a complete online process? Like we're doing 3D virtual tours, we're booking it, we're paying the token, it's done. Like fully, completely online.
See, today's mindset, if I talk about it, is real estate is still a, I don't know how to put it, but आज भी customer आता है तो बोलते हैं मेरे को vibe अच्छी आ रही है, which cannot be defined through
Yeah.
any.
द मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट क्या खरीदते हो आप? घर, राइट? एज इंडिया में तो मैं वही बोला ना कि रेंट में ठीक है, देयर इज अ रेंटल मार्केट,
Yeah.
पीपल वांट्स टू बाय देयर ओन.
Yeah.
मोस्ट एक्सपेंसिव, द लीस्ट फ्रीक्वेंट परचेस. ऐसा तो नहीं है कि इंडियन 10-12 घर खरीदता है,
That is
एक
true.
इंडियन 2-3 घर खरीदता है. ऐसा भी नहीं है कि कोई इंडिया में बाइंग होम इज अ वेरी फैमिली डिसीजन. लाइक यू नो, वाइफ को देखना है, माँ बाप को देखना है, बच्चे कहाँ पढ़ेंगे, so many ingredients comes into picture. Now digital give you awareness, digitalizations give you information, but for shortlisting the project,
Yeah.
in 15 years is a too long horizon to predict.
Yeah.
But I don't see this trend happening in next 5 years. This cannot be ignored. There has to be virtual reality happening, you know, that मुझे जाना नहीं है, बारिश है, but still मुझे एक बार देखना है क्या हो रहा है रियल एस्टेट में, तो मैं वो शो फ्लैट डिजिटली देख लूँ, वॉक थ्रू देख लूँ, व्यूज देख लूँ, everything. Like Bangalore is a mature market.
Yeah.
I've seen that, you know, in the vacant chart also people show online.
Yeah.
But at least पता तो है कि हाँ मैं देख लिया. But still they do not see on the location. As rightly said Saurav, कि वो vibes, location की vibes, project की vibes, वो घर में चलना, finishing देखना, you know, interact with you know what's happening at the site and have that physical meeting. तब तक I still feel India is a little bit away of clicking and paying online. Imagine the amount of money. It's the most expensive
Yeah.
city.
Correct.
It's not like me buying. Okay, but look at the trend. XYZ developer post-COVID, when launched plot at 15-20 lakhs, maximum people have bought online. You know why? Because the value was less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
The value
a car
plays
park cost
It
in
depends
South
on the
Bombay
value, yes.
Yeah.
is giving you a plotted development by a very branded developer. The whole, I think, majority has done the online sales because it was the ticket size was less. It's like buying a plot. I mean, so I'm telling you, it will vary from product to product, price to price, but the trend is still far.
So maybe like if you order from Flipkart, you can still return it.
Yeah.
If that option is available, maybe you can.
I think, yeah.
Maybe
If you say
that
this
you
is
be-
the gap.
this
We
is the
need to
gap.
fill
This
this
is
gap.
the
you
gap.
book today, you go and visit,
cancel,
and if you don't,
if you don't like it, cancel. We'll pay you the money. There's no cancellation charge.
then I think it will.
Then
Cancel
people
just
will
50% advance amount. Okay. So again, so like in the foreign market,
Yeah.
the real estate is a purely commission-driven industry. In India, we still follow a salary structure.
Right.
I am assuming you all also follow a salary structure
Yes.
with your employees. What I'm coming at with this is basically your earnings in the West is directly proportionate to the hard work that you do because it's commission based purely. What is the hesitation in India to adapt that? And what can we do when it comes to this salary structure in real estate especially? How do we keep the employees motivated? Because they know there's a fixed salary. I make sales, I don't make sales, I'm going to get my salary. So first the hesitation of moving towards commission, and my second question is how do we motivate those employees who are on the salary based structure to like do sales, to like be out there, get the numbers and all of that?
So as far as our organization is concerned, so we, you know, whenever there is a team, there is, of course, there is selling, but it is not one person doing the entire selling. We have people who are specialized people who are doing like only sourcing. There are specialized people who are only doing closing. So, you know, so we, like in a factory, what happens is there is every step and every person is doing that step.
Yeah.
So similarly, we follow that kind of a model. So there is not one person responsible for the entire sales, unlike a broker maybe.
Yeah.
So in our organization, we can only have a salary plus
Incentives.
incentive structure. So the incentive part is something which motivates them. The training that we give, the work culture is very important today. Working with like-minded people, you know, people who join us. Like for example, we say that our biggest USP is the passion that we work with. So, you know, people who are passionate to work with us in the same culture, I think that motivates them. There are many soft skills also required, just not the commission or the incentive that we provide. For a broker, I would say, you know, everybody has a different way of functioning. Moving to a pure commission-based sales is, I don't know, it's not acceptable because of people think that, you know, मुझे सिर्फ कमीशन लेना है तो मैं खुद से ही कर लेता हूँ.
Yeah, so why should I work for somebody
Why
else?
should I work for
So,
somebody?
what Saurabh has said can be beautifully sum up in 3 things. Like, एक आदमी 3 चीजों के लिए काम करता है, especially Indian context में, because we are still emotional. We values relation and emotions, unlike the foreign countries. So I think I should say, एक तो है people, which is culture. Like, how जब लोग बोलते हैं ना कि people don't leave the job, they leave the boss.
Yeah.
So that's very important. At Guardians, culture is the most important thing. Respect each other's, not only personally but professionally too. And imbibe that, I'm not say family, because in family में भी, discussion होता है, arguments होती है, but at the end we know that we respect human beings. So
Yeah.
that respect part comes from people. The second important, I should say, is profile. Like, ठीक है, so there are so much of migration, little bit like somebody is working in sales, is doing so well, but he wants to be a business development head, which has happened. Somebody is working at sales, wants to come to marketing. So we do change their profile based on their interest and the proven track record. Profile के लिए भी सब काम करते हैं. It's not about just incentive or money. People love their profile so much. Challenge themselves, introduce different role every year when they come for the appraisals, make them more responsible. And when they know that they are good at certain things and they are getting the platform, they never look back. Because, the passion has become profession. So profile. And the third thing is package, of course. So I must say profile, package and people.
So after these 3 things, how do you all motivate them? Let's say they're on a salary structure, this thing. How do you all push them and motivate to do better, to keep getting sales in place, to keep all of that? How do you all motivate your employees, and how can other people motivate theirs?
So it's about the culture of the organization, the incentives that are associated with it, and we treat them as our family. So we call them Guardians family.
Yeah.
So it's the culture and the values, which is there, which motivates them. Obviously, we also help them grow in their respective career. Like Jayesh said, there is, a person who has inclination towards marketing. He's in sales today. So we give him an opportunity to come in business development, come in strategy, or explore other options, which he might like. And also to grow in their career, whatever training is required, on-ground training or, offline training, whatever is required, we help them do that. I think that binds us, and, that's how, they also grow, and that's what a person professional needs.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to the fun part now. There's a lot of knowledge for me to process. So let's go to the fun part. So it's like a fun rapid fire round. I'm going to ask a question. Both of you all answer one by one, however you like. It's a very casual, it's nothing to worry about. I'm not going to ask any developer's name. That's your favorite. Okay. So your favorite neighborhood in Mumbai?
Jew.
Yours?
Bandra.
Bandra for us. A book you feel every budding entrepreneur in real estate should read?
Bhagavad Gita.
Oh.
How to win friends and influence people?
Yeah, because it's a people's business.
Correct.
What is the one work ethic that you swear by when you're working in this industry?
Honesty.
I think honesty and integrity.
Yes. If not real estate, which alternate career would you have liked to explore?
How I wish there is an undo button in life. I would have been architect.
Oh,
For me, sports win it.
sports?
Yes.
Which sport?
I would say cricket.
Oh, nice. Your favorite place in Mumbai to unwind after a long work week?
I can go to beach.
Which beach?
Jew beach.
Is there space in Juhu Beach anymore?
There is some college are there where you can just sit
Yeah.
and listen the waves.
Yeah.
I think I would also love to go near the water. So
Yeah.
it's the beach. But
Oh.
I can't say Juhu Beach.
Because it's maybe
Yeah.
Alibag.
Yeah.
Okay, rapid fire was that much only. So let's say we're almost at the end segment of the show. I just wanted to understand, starting the business 7 years ago must have come with their own challenges. So I want to understand the challenges you all faced professionally, personally, to get this business where it is today, and what were the most difficult challenges that seem like, sometimes you're like, no, it's not happening. How did you get through it, and how did you have the smooth journey after it? Just some light on that.
In the beginning of it, I should say, because I was a period of 8 years of journey. But in the very early days of starting Guardians, the challenge was related to, because in service industry is not just for the problem of real estate mandate business. This is across service industry, which is a cash flow. Because, unlike any product where the manufacture happen and you deliver and the money comes. There is a visibility of everything. In service industry, no matter how much professional we like to be and we are, sometimes the cash flows, get not disturbed, but it comes in a very unpredicted manner. But over a period, like for example, Ernst & Young's is our process audit partner. We bought them on a board long back. And we says how to do standardization, checklist, and etc. So if there is a problem, what we should do so that it can resolve over a period. So yes, this was a little bit of, I will not say challenge, but yeah, there was a little bit, we observe that how this problem can we address by way of so much process, standardization, checklist, legal documents, and secure that your cash flow comes on time. But yes, it was a problem. We addressed it and we actually came back to, but still, I mean, sometimes it's a issue.
When it comes to sales, you take care of that. So what are the challenges that you think that the sales thing have?
So, I think the challenge is also the most fun part of the job. The challenge is that we take say 40 projects we are doing. Every project has a different problem which we have to solve. So I think that comes with our job, and for every developer there is a different solution. Somewhere it is the brand, somewhere it is the inventory, somewhere it is the pricing, somewhere it is how to market the product. That is one thing. Internally, because the real estate it goes through a lot of phases. Today luxury is working, tomorrow affordable is working. So we have to adapt to the change very fast. The challenging part is to make the 1200 people adapt to the change. Even if the top management aligns with the change, the bottom layer or the people who are actually on the ground, to change them takes time. So we have to face some attrition also. But so we are taking steps, and we are also growing. Since last 7 years, we have also taken so many measures to mitigate that.
I think challenges is what also gives us more ideas about how to see.
Absolutely.
It prepares you for the future.
Yeah. So at the end, I would just want to know, like, what would your advice be, both of you, for people thinking about beginning their journey in this industry, let's say mandate business, real estate in general, channel partners? What is the advice, or let's say top 3 lessons or top 3 things that they should consider to have a good journey in their business like you all had?
I must say that knowledge, one have to gain. Like it doesn't come, it comes with an experience that you have to have this patience, that nothing comes overnight in your life. My biggest lesson is everybody wants, sky success in whichever industry they works into. But especially in real estate, knowledge is something which cannot be replaced by anything else. That comes with an experience. But during this experience, having the patience is must. I think this 3 ingredient is must for anybody to come in this business, whether it is in the form of mandate business or whether it comes of your channel partners or directly any vendors. I should say these 3 things is must. Knowledge, a good experience, but with the patience. This is my takeaway of last 8 years, and I will love to continue that way.
For me, I think passion takes number 1, because 15th August is coming. You must be thinking where to go on the long weekend. We are thinking कि हमें तो site पे रहना है क्योंकि long weekend है, ज़्यादा customer आएंगे. So so if you're passionate about real estate, then only get into real estate, because there is no Diwali, there is no New Year. In fact, those are the times when you have to work even more. Especially on the weekends. So so you have to be passionate. Second is, I would say, the transparency, because still, sorry to use that word, but लोग बोलते हैं real estate में लोग चोर हैं.
हाँ.
Correct.
कुछ सही नहीं बताते, दिखाते कुछ और है, देते कुछ और है.
So I think transparency is something which will change the face of real estate, especially in India. That is very important. And third, I would say, is again, like he said, the patience that comes with it, and with the integrity which you have to do. If you are transparent and the integrity is there, things might take time, but it will happen good, is what I think.
So in today's time, we see, first of all, it's a lot of trend, startup culture is picking up. Everywhere is a startup. Modi ji has helped in like startup, independence, Atmanirbhar Bharat. So we've seen that 60 to 65% startups shut. Because let's say the partners get into the fight, the founders get into the fight, they don't come to a common ground. Coming to the point that you have your 4 partners.
Oh yeah.
So we're assuming you all might have your own disagreements, your own different opinions. So how do you all come to a common ground, and how do you all come out of it?
Oh, it's a very nice question because, journey of 8 years was definitely because when any problem comes, solutions could be different. But there are four partners bring with four expertise, bring with four, evaluating the problem or opportunity from a various perspective. My opinion may be different, Kasiba's opinion may be different. But the approach which we usually bring on table is the decision making based on some facts, data and the experience, because this always helps us, no doubt, because we are four. If it's five, at least still there is a vote can happen. But there's a lighter way. But I must say that at the end, any problems has a solution. Only need a perspective. Sometimes it is four perspective is same, and sometimes the different perspective comes on table. But what we bring on table is the rich experience of a different side, business side, which maybe because Kasibai Kaushalbai always comes from that background. Me and Ram comes from a job side because we did job for 15 years. We do respect each other's knowledge and the experience, and based on those data or whatever we discuss, we respect each other's opinion and take the problem into further steps that okay, let's take this step. There may be a chances where we all are equally divided. Two says yes, two said no. But at the same time also, we respect and we said, okay, sometimes business is not about taking right decision. Sometimes it is all about, we four strongly believe, take decision and do everything which makes your decision right. Sometimes, I always advise everybody, business is not about just doing business.
That's a very good motivational line.
It's about taking decision.
Yeah.
We four says that, okay, there is a difference. Two are agree, two are not. But which is in the larger interest, let's take this decision. And we four, as you always, we unite to prove that what the best we can do with us, with our team, to prove that decision is right. And always we are strongly followed. And sometimes it happens that, okay, still the solution is not there. We leave it to Kaushalbai. Because we said, okay, you as the experienced senior member of the four of us, you say, and we will back by it and go ahead. Then there is no disagreement. Then the next moment we are same and let's work toward that one thing, which otherwise was little bit of confusion, do or not to do. If he says, that's the way we follow.
That's a great line, I think, to end our show. Like, don't worry about taking the right decision. Just take the decision and make it right. I think it's...
The biggest advice, because the last podcast somebody asked me, what is the one advice you want to give to the developer? I said, take a decision.
That is true.
Because not taking decisions come at a cost, interest, time, late possession. There is so much of implication. Product is not working, test decision change. Price is not working, test decision and achieve this volume velocity trade-off, which is required right now. Because real estate product, if it doesn't sell for some time, it is actually incurring the interest cost to it. So we always advise to even our developers, let's take a decision. Maybe in the right manner, with the facts. And the stake is so high, not taking decision comes at a very huge cost. And I think this whole what we discuss makes us, which is our positioning line, that we are bigger, better together. That's what we say. We want to be bigger, but how, in the process, how we can be better daily, because a lot of process technology we bring on better. But this too is meaningless if we do not achieve together, because we strongly believe all stakeholders, employees, developers, bankers, vendors, everybody should win. So I think the success mantra of Guardians over a period of 8 years is what we believe, we practice and we execute is let's be bigger, better together.
Together. People's business, so we need people to run the business.
That's right.
This was a very insightful session. I have so much. I want to go back home, note down, research all you spoke about because I'm so intrigued and I hope the audience is too. So it's been great. Thank you all for taking out the time and coming and making this show a big hit.
Thank you so much.
I'm sure it's going to be a big hit.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And thanks for Jugyah to giving this opportunity.
Thank you for sticking along throughout the video. I hope you learned a lot of new things because we sure did. And if you think some other people would love this video, please share it with them. And before going, again, please subscribe, like, and share our channel as much as possible. Thank you. See you next time with new guests.